Okay, so we're gonna be watching how to lane against Teemo, right? As Trynda, right? So this guy's gold Teemo. He's gonna make a lot of mistakes, so you'll see how to capitalize on them. Like, the first thing you need to do is you need to get into the bush as fast as possible, right? You need to rush your items, right? This applies to Summoner's Rift and Aram. I like to play Aram because I like to play one-on-one because there are no teammates who are gonna feed. Like, there's no jungler who's gonna come in, give Teemo red buff and blue buff, and then all of a sudden you lose the game. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you see, like, right now, we both have bush advantage, but Teemo into Tryndamere, if I see him first, I will win it. I will win the trade. You see? So I see him, right? Now you need to attack and walk forward as much as possible. Right now there is no reason for me to attack because I'm blinded, right? So I'm gonna walk forward. You see? And now I'm gonna attack. Now I'm gonna back off. That was a big mistake by him. Every time he uses speed up, it's a win for you because he's using mana. If he starts spamming his like speed thingy, like his speed up, it takes shitloads of mana. It's like 40 mana, right? Okay. So think about it, right? His mana pool is 363. He needs his blinding dart, 70 mana, right? So he uses blinding dart 3 times and he's on. That's it, right? So every time he uses anything else is pretty much a win for you, right? Also, his traps take a lot of mana, right? Teemo is a very mana heavy champion, right? So you have to try to expand his mana as much as possible. As soon as he runs out of mana, W him and all in him, right? Summoners you should definitely have Ignite. Like, I like Ignite and Ghost into him, right? So you see, like, he's chasing me, he's making a mistake because my W is gonna come up faster than his blinding dart, right? I think it's the same cooldown. Yeah. So I'm gonna spin into him again, right? That's a big mistake he's doing. You see? He's taking 3 damage. Right? So that at this point he lost the game. That's it. That's game over for him, right? So on Summoner's Rift, try to get into a bush as much as possible, as fast as possible. If he walks up, you can spin into him, do like 3 or 4 auras, and back off back into the bush, and he lost the lane. That's it. Game over for him, right? So Teemo, people think that Teemo is a good counter to Tryndamere. I don't think so, right? Unless Teemo is exceptionally good. The problem with Teemo player, right? If he dies one time, he's gonna start feeding for the whole game, right? Especially into champions like Jax or Tryndamere, who have a gap close, right? Like, you're gonna start feeding. There is no counterplay. You cannot do anything to stop this, right? If you die one time, or if you mess up your lane, you will literally feed them, right? There is nothing you can do to stop this, right? And again, we're playing solo queue. I mean, this is a Ram, this is 1-on-1. This is even worse, right? Because he's doomed. That's it. Like, it's game over for him, right? Because for Teemo to win against Tryndamere, he needs to be ahead, he needs to have items, and he needs to have mana pool, right? And if he lost his lane, he will have mana issues and he will have very little damage. Not to mention, he's gonna be behind in levels, which means his blinding dart is not gonna do. It's the blind duration is very small, so you'll see. I'm gonna stop commenting from now, and you'll see what happens, right? So this is level 6. This is very, very important, right? You want to, at level 6, you want to, if he's on, right? You want to bait his blind, catch him with W, and then just ghost and ignite him and all in him, right? There is nothing he can do to stop you, right? Because what's gonna happen is ignite will chunk like this much of his health. So all you need is 2 auto attacks or 1 crit, right? If you land your spin, 1 auto and ignite and he dies, right? That's it. And you can chase him a little bit just to do 1 more auto. So all you need is spin damage, 2 autos or 1 crit and ignite and he dies. That's it, right? Okay? So just be aware. Just right now I need to bait his blind. As soon as that happens, I'm gonna all in him, right? Also, another point is if you burn Teemo's flash, he is doomed, right? Because he cannot walk up for CS. As soon as he walks up for CS, you simply E into him and you do free damage, right? Because I mean, this guy, you see the problem with Teemo. I mean, this guy does not know how to play him, right? And he's gonna feed. Now, another reason why this is devastating for Teemo right now is because he died when the lane is pushed into his turret. What happens, he is losing experience, right? And he's losing minions. Oh, experience, well, minions, gold, right? Now, if you trade, if the turret is pushed right into the guy, and you trade 1 for 1, you win because he loses all the minions, right? So every opportunity you can, if you can trade 1 for 1 under the turret, while minions are pushed into the turret, take it. So at this stage, I know he has no boots, so all I have to do is wait until the lane pushes into me, right? So as soon as the lane is in here, he's going to overextend like a silly little, I don't know, I'm not even gonna talk. I don't have a good opinion of other players mostly. Alright, so he's gonna overextend, okay? And what you do is you catch him on W, you spin into him, and you simply run him down. That's it. There is nothing he can do. Even if he as soon as he flashes, you can zone him off minions, and he's just gonna be under-leveled and under-farmed, right? That's it. You'll see me doing this to him. I'm gonna burn his flash, and I'm gonna just zone him out of the minions. Okay, when you kill your opponent, there are 2 things you can do, right? On Aram, especially, right? You can either freeze the lane, right? Freeze the lane. If there are a lot of minions and they act like a turret, like you need to get him to lose gold and experience so that something kills a lot of his minions. So if you have a lot of minions, of his minions on your side, right, you want to make sure to freeze the lane. If there's kind of like, maybe I'm talking about if there are like 2 waves on your side and only 1 wave pushing in, you want to freeze. If there is maybe 7 minions of his, he has 7 minions, and there's like 6 minions of yours, you need to push it in as fast as possible so he loses all the experience and gold, right? General rule for freezing: if there are 4 minions, right, extra, so if there are 6 on your side and 10 on his side, you can freeze, right? So if, like, try to always count, like, if you have +4 minions on his side, right, you can freeze, right? If it's less, you have to push, okay? So in this case, if we look at, right, so I cannot freeze this. It's very hard for me to freeze this because minions are equal. Do you know what I'm saying? Right, you see, there's only 3 minions. Well, it's technically 4, but this minion is gonna die very quickly because he's focus fired, right? It's very hard for me to freeze this, right? Plus, I damaged a lot of his minions, so the best option here is to push. You see, like, the lane is already pushing. So look at like number of minions I have in here and the health bars. This minion is gonna die, and these minions are gonna die very quickly because I already spinned into them. So the best option here is to push the lane. Here I'm making a mistake because I'm attacking the turret. You should, in Aram, it's best not to attack the turret. Let just the turret destroy his minions, gold and experience, right? Because you see, like, mechanics, you want to get as much, like, a lot of advantage, as much advantage as possible, because you see what can happen is once it hits here, it's very hard to kill him unless you have a sizable advantage, and he can free farm, right? Also, if you destroy the Nexus, there is this like super minion. He one-shots every single minion, including cannon. So unless you can realistically kill him in here, you should never take this, right? Because like there's no way for you to farm, right? You can lose the game like this, basically, right? So the best thing to do is create advantage as much as possible. So keep this turret. Like normally what I do is I take this turret and then I leave this turret for as long as I can, right? Because once minion pushes into here, like in this spot here, right, I have so much space to chase them, but they just cannot do anything, right? They get zoned of minions for forever, basically, right? So normally I leave minions in here, and then he just like no, what they think in their head is I'm gonna sit here, wait until minions are going to arrive. So what I do is I freeze it in this location, right? In this location here, and they just sit here forever. Do you know what I'm saying? Forever. Now, about after 2 minutes, they're going to realize, wait a minute, the lane is frozen. There is no way for me to actually get experience. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna walk up, right? With your W, you can spot if they are in a bush or not. As soon as your W lights up, right, just all in them, and that's it. At that point, once you do it two times, they are going to quit the game. That's it, because they understand there is nothing they can do at this point in time, right? And when your wave is frozen, right, like normally I try to keep it in here, right? So if they go into the bush, I chase them into the bush. The minions, I don't get minion aggro at all, right? So what I do is then I just kill them for free, get back to the frozen lane and continue the freeze. And then that's it. Like at that point in time, they come back into the lane, they'll be like 4 levels down, and their item advantage that they bought, like 350 or some kind of Tom 435 they buy, is not a sizable advantage. 1 level in League of Legends is worth about 750 gold. So think about it this way: if he's 3 or 4 levels behind, that's that's like an Infinity Edge or Trinity Force behind, right? That is like crazy, crazy. And if he dies and the timers are very long, I will push the lane, right? Suicide, come back with like insane amount of items, and then I can finish the game. All right, so you need to kind of use your head a little bit in here. General, I'll give you an advice. Don't, like, I normally mute people, right? As soon as I start the game, I mute people because people are gonna tell you a lot of stupid shit for reasons why they're losing. Okay, they're gonna tell you, "Oh my God, you're just all-inning me all the time, and this is why I'm losing." Did you understand? Like, they're just gonna be saying stuff like that. They're gonna be saying things, "Oh my God, like your champion is overpowered," right? He's playing Teemo into Tryndamere, and he says that Tryndamere counters Teemo, right? You'll see a lot of stuff. Like you can play Nasus into Fiora. Fiora, if played correctly, can really stomp Nasus, right? And once you kill Fiora a couple of times, he'll be like, "Oh my God, your W slow is too much." Or they're gonna say things like, "Oh, I'm lagging," or "I'm first time playing champion," or you know, they're gonna come up with every possible excuse why they're losing. Do you know what I mean? So just mute them, otherwise they might get into your head. All right? Because I lost sometimes games, like very rarely, I lost games where people got into my head. So just mute them, right? Best thing to do is to mute them. At this stage, he should simply let me finish the game, right? Because on Aram you can FF at 8 minutes, right? But I can probably finish the game with the minion wave I have quicker than this, right? The problem is he keeps playing, and like it's not good. What he's doing is like he's wasting time basically. He just won't win the game at this stage. And that's Teemo, and that's Tryndamere into Teemo, right? Take care.